Worldwide Court Radio, the Hot Breakfast Morning Show. It's already that time, man. It's that time. It's sports time, so you know what that means.
Yes. I've been waiting on this day for so long. Big G, we was so right. We was right. It was Seattle and Denver are going to meet in the Super Bowl on February 2nd. But before we even get to that, let's just talk about what happened yesterday at those AFC, NFC championship games, where they were great games, but there were a lot of missteps by quarterbacks that you didn't really expect for it to happen. So let's just go play by play. First game was the Denver Broncos versus New England Patriots game, where the ending score was 26-16. Denver Broncos. Peyton Manning was 32 for 43, 400 yards, 2 touchdowns. Man, that dude put on a show. And you know I'm not a big Peyton Manning fan, but as a real sports analyst that I am, Big G, I gotta give it to you. I do have to give it to you. I gotta lay down and go ahead and take this one. Because your boy Peyton Manning made Tom Brady look real bad yesterday.
Boy didn't show up the whole game.
Boy did not show up. I mean, Tom Brady was missing passes, clear passes that we all know that Tom Brady can make. But he was overthrowing receivers. Now, granted, I understand the argument is still, you know, Tom Brady doesn't have the good receivers that Peyton Manning has. But still, you still have a great quarterback. And in a great quarterback, you're supposed to be able to make those receivers what they are. You feel me? So in that same aspect, Tom Brady just, I don't know if his head wasn't in it, if he got too much in it because they felt like they were the underdogs all week. Nevertheless, it ended up coming out, and Tom Brady and the Patriots came up short. And the thing about it was, you know, there were a lot of questionable plays. Let's just go through this. Did you watch the game yesterday, Big G?
I watched the whole game.
Okay. So the one big thing that Skip Bayless was saying this morning was that the hit that Wes Welker put on to keep a lead to keep, okay?
The block.
The block. But guess what? That block was at the hip. If you watch it a couple times, even though it was kind of low, it was at the hip, honestly. I mean, what more do you want? Granted, the hit, Aqib Talib is already messed up as is. He just came back and, you know what I'm saying? He just came off of some injuries. So you can't expect him to be 100% anyway. But at the same time, you know, that hit by Wes Welker did not, it wasn't one of those hits that you really feel like that was a dirty hit. Although Bill Belichick, Skip Bayless, and a couple other analysts feel like it was a dirty shot and that he will have to answer to the league somehow, some way.
Now, was it a dirty shot because you let this man go? I think that's what it is.
Honestly, I don't think it was a dirty shot. I mean, granted, Wes Welker is a receiver, but he was, you know, you have to block. That's part of your job. Right. And I mean, at the same time, if you know who Talib is, you know that you got to block him. You know that you have to do what you need to do in order for him not to make the play. You feel me? So, I mean, I don't think it was dirty. I think it was more salt. You know what I'm saying? And when you see salt, I mean, granted, they only scored 3 points through the first 3 quarters. Aqib Talib went out in I think the beginning of the second quarter. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So what does that have to do with Tom Brady not being able to throw the ball accurately? Aqib Talib plays defense. Tom Brady plays offense. 2 separate spectrums. And granted, Tom Brady was supposed to show up more than that. Mm-hmm. Tom Brady was 24 for 38, 277 yards, 1 touchdown. As a matter of fact, Bill Belichick, you know, Bill Belichick is like one of the premier coaches, okay, throughout the NFL. But they allowed Denver Broncos to have 507 yards. That's most in the Bill Belichick era.
Really?
Most yards.
Wow.
Right. So defense wasn't there, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't where it needed to be. And like I said, now they're talking about the Aqib Talib thing and how that was a dirty hit and how that really changed the scope of the game. But, you know, in the fourth quarter, they tried to really make a comeback. They scored 13 points with Edelman catching that touchdown, but it just wasn't enough. It just was not enough. The game was over. That Denver Bronco defense, though, wow, man, that was too crazy. That was too crazy.
My niece and nephews is going crazy over
there. Hey, but it's cool though. It's cool though.
I'm so
it's
sorry.
The kids. It's Martin Luther King Day. They ain't have to go to school.
I'm sorry, y'all.
She like, open the door. Open the door. You want come here?
Oh yeah.
Come here.
She going,
Look, she running.
No, she don't want now.
She out. Yeah, I mean, that really just changed the scope of the game. I mean, and then the other thing that was really big that I seen in the stats was the Denver Broncos had the ball more than 10 minutes more than the Patriots did. Mm-hmm. And that just is going to always change it. If I have the ball more, then, I mean, they had the ball 35 minutes versus New England only had it for 24 minutes. That is going to change the scope of the game if Tom Brady doesn't have the ball in his hands. Flat out. So, the ending score, like I said, was 26-16. Broncos end up winning. They're going to the Super Bowl. But they're going to face the Seahawks.
Woo.
And the Seahawks
Woo.
defense. Now, just because it's top on everybody's mind that Richard Sherman last play rant when my boy went in was talking about Michael Crabtree, I understand that everybody feels a certain way about it, but I kind of liked it. I mean, you know, I'm the sports diva. You know, Richard Sherman wasn't sexy before then, but he was kind of cute after that. Because I like to see an aggressive player. And when you're able to be aggressive and then show up, something about that just kind of make you boil. You know, you just kind of make you melt a little bit.
Best defense against best offense.
Best defense. This is the number one offense versus the number one defense since 1990. Do you believe that 1990 was the last time the number one defense and the number one offense were able to meet in a Super Bowl? But guess what happened? Guess who won? The offense pulled it out.
Really?
Yes, the offense pulled it out. 1990, the Giants beat the Bills then, and they were the offense. They were the number one offense in the league then.
All right.
So that make your boy, that's a little, you know, tip to your boy. Another little tip to your boy. But the NFC Championship game where the Seahawks were able to beat the tough, very tough 49ers defense, it was just that their offense didn't show up. I mean, let's keep in mind, Russell Wilson was not able to really be the quarterback he really wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? That 49er defense really went at him that first half. But after that first half, they made some of those adjustments. Pete Carroll went in the locker room.
True.
And I think he went to talk to Russell. And they had them a conversation. And after that, I think he changed his whole mindset. Because I believe initially, you know, the 49ers really intimidated Russell Wilson. And they really did what they needed to do. But, you know, you still got Marshawn Lynch and Jermaine Kearse who were able to come up with those big touchdowns and were able to kind of start sealing the deal for him. And then, like I said, Richard Sherman was able to come up with that great, I mean, you got to give it to him. Best corner in the league right now. I mean, he was able to come up with that great defensive play to end the game and to get that interception or to create the interception. So, you know, that was absolutely a great game. Both teams were pretty even across the field. They both had 308 yards. They both kind of had the ball the same amount of time. So it just came down to the mechanics of the situation. 17-23 was the final score. So we will see the Denver Broncos and the Seattle Seahawks in the Super Bowl February 2nd at 6:30. Like I said, number one offense, number one defense. This is only the 5th time in history this has ever happened. So if you're not watching the Super Bowl this year,